Welcome, friends, to Dog Grooming Unleashed. We are Leigh and Michelle Caluneo. Our mission is to create a safe, welcoming space for dog groomers and pet lovers to come together to learn, laugh, and feel supported. So join us as we build a community where pet parents and groomers can come together. We also want to help groomers grow in their skills, share their struggles, and feel connected to others in the industry. So get ready to learn and laugh. We're so excited to have you here.
Can I have your attention, please? Check, check.
Check.
There's many reasons why having an exit plan is very important. You may go through to retirement as a groomer. A lot of people do, but you also may not. And your dog grooming career could come to a complete halt in a day. That means income, boom, off. Somebody hit the kill switch on the income, and that is devastating.
Yeah, because injuries will take you out.
Yeah. Big time. And it could permanently take you out. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 4 of Dog Grooming Unleashed with Leigh and Michelle Caluneo. How about some applause? Okay, put some applause in there.
Okay.
Today's episode is amazing. And boy, would I have liked to heard this a little sooner than when I actually considered it. It is why having an exit plan for your dog grooming business and your dog grooming career is very important. There's many reasons why having an exit plan is very important. You may go through to retirement as a groomer. A lot of people do, but you also may not.
Dog grooming's hard.
It's hard on you and you and you and you. It's hard.
Did
on
you
your
point
body.
to me? It's hard on me.
I tried to.
Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Yeah, you're included. It's hard on you.
So we're going to talk about it today.
Yeah.
So good.
So why it's important. It is very important. I'll just kick off a little thought here, and I'm going to ask Michelle to speak on it too. One thing that's very important to have an exit plan for your dog grooming career is because you may find that something happens at some point that you didn't predict to you, to your health, and your dog grooming career could come to a complete halt in a day or a week. That means income, boom, off. Somebody hit the kill switch on the income, and that is devastating. So what is that exit plan? I built an exit plan while I was still grooming. And I actually have transitioned already into doing more education, which was my exit plan. Education. Yep. All the decades of experience that I gained and further education that I obtained through dog grooming, I decided to give that back for free to the grooming industry to help others. And that has turned into a very successful business for me. You know, I've built brands. I've built Go Groomer as a brand. I've built Leigh as a brand for education. Now I'm building brands for products. And so
yeah, you are.
It started. Yeah, but it starts that way. So that was my exit plan. We can talk later about it if we want to. I don't know. But that was it in a nutshell. And it took me at least 6 years to get to a point where I could still back off the grooming enough to put enough time into that exit plan.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen overnight. So you got to build it while you're still able to build things.
Well, and if you do want to groom for the rest of your life, there's things that are important to do, like staying strong and working out. I just saw like a really great post about that. I wish I would have sent it to you. But why that's so important. So if you really do want to groom forever and you love it and it's just your passion and you've been doing it for 20 years and you just want to keep doing it, keeping your body strong and that's amazing because there's a lot of people that do that. And I love that.
Yeah.
And if you're happy and you're doing what you're doing and you think that that's what you want to do, then that's wonderful. And just keep your body strong and keep on trucking. Right. But a lot of folks, that's not the way it is. And I think you have the people that get into it young and maybe by 30, they want to do something else.
Mm-hmm. Or vice versa. They do something else till they're 30, yeah. And then at 30, they go into dog grooming.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something very important with what you were just saying is not only keeping yourself strong and able is very important. So, you know, eating healthy, staying hydrated, and staying active is very important to keep your body strong enough to do it and your mental capacity strong enough to do it too. But the second thing is to always really streamline your procedures of grooming so that everything is built around safety for you and the dog. If you're safe and those accidents can't happen, there's a high chance that you can continue to groom for years and years and years. But having those safe practices, not overbooking and having multiple dogs in your shop at one time that's distracting the dog on the table, it's distracting you. An accident could happen and you could have to catch a dog and break your wrist
Yeah.
because you had to catch the dog because he was decided to go nuts because he was highly distracted, whatever. Safe practices is very important, so that accidents don't happen that will put you out of commission.
Yeah, because injuries will take you out.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
time. And it could be permanently take you out. Like I can't do this. I really threw out my back and if I continue to do it, my back is going to get worse.
So one of the things we talked about is slowing down. And so if you feel like you're getting to a point that you're grooming 8 dogs a day, you've been doing this for a long time. Yeah, the money's great. And now, you're getting a little bit older. Like, how do I transition? Like, what do I do to make this so I can continue to do grooming, for another 15, 20 years, right? And that's where I'm at now, where I've really slowed down.
Hmm.
I cut out
You
most of
mean
my
you
big
you
dogs.
you adjusted your schedule?
I did. And also because I've been doing more social media. So I'm still working a ton,
Yeah.
but now I'm just doing more social media versus physical grooming. But that's what worked for me because I was grooming 8 dogs a day.
Yeah,
But
that's
I was so
crazy.
excited. And that's what we do sometimes. And also you got to pay bills and things like that.
Hmm.
Dog groomer, most of us aren't walking around rich, right? I mean, we're doing
We
this because
do
we're
okay,
fun.
but it isn't. Yeah, we're typically, an average income. A
Yeah.
groomer is making an average wage, maybe a little bit above. It depends on how
Depends
you
on
run your
if you're
business.
working for someone.
Yeah, yeah. But the exit plan is important. So is your exit plan, Michelle, to continue to just do content creation, or will that turn into more like collaborating with others more? That you're not doing as much grooming and you're going to keep kind of dialing the grooming down and upping the social media content creation. Would you be collaborating? What do you foresee for your future
I would love
as a
to, I
content
mean,
creator?
I would love to groom just about 2 days a week and
Yeah.
then have enough, and use those 2 days to create content and then do all the other comedy content. A lot of times I have all these funny video ideas that I want to do, but I don't have time because I'm grooming dogs all the time, which is great too. So, but I
Yeah.
think for me, as I approach, 47 this year, I would love to think hopefully by the time I was maybe 50 that I could do that where I just a couple days a
Yeah.
week. That's when I groom. And that's still a good regular customer base, but this year I focused on really slowing down, sticking with the smaller dogs or taking on breeds that I hadn't taken on before that I really wanted to groom. I'm
Yeah.
still looking for that Arundel Terrier that
That's in your
yeah.
neighborhood that you want to groom so bad. But that's important too. What
Yeah.
Michelle just said is and I did this too. I did this several years ago where I just really completely stopped taking, I did this about 10 years ago. Stopped taking on new but big dogs, but the big dogs that I already had on my schedule, I continued to groom them throughout their life, and a few of them are still alive. I don't like to bail on I that dog already allowed me to create a
I
bond,
know.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm going to honor that for the rest of that dog's life. He trusts me, the owner trusts me that, I will make sure each grooming session is as safe as possible. So I keep them, but I just don't add new ones in to the point where, yeah, I only do one big dog a week. And
Yeah.
I can say I can do it even though that's a lot of work for me still, that one big dog. I know that it's not forever and I want to continue to serve that dog. So start booking your schedule more with smaller dogs that are very well socialized and used to grooming, and make it easier for yourself to continue grooming into your senior years because you made it easier for yourself. And that's looking out for yourself and protecting the fact that you can continue to groom through retirement years if you adjust your schedule appropriately.
Right. I mean, because I really have jacked up my back and my neck,
Yeah.
the past year, really. And so that's where I was like, okay, I need to make some changes. Like it's the physical grooming all day long. It's a lot. There's other avenues you could go down. I mean, you can, if your dream is to always open a big shop and have a lot of staff, and that's the other alternative too, that you can do that. So you can go ahead and have like more of a salon setting and do more management and delegation versus physical grooming.
That's great advice, because you already have built up a very good reputation in your community with your business. Now you're going to expand the business. They already trust you, and the people that you bring in, are probably going to have a basic dog grooming course. So you're going to start them out, lots of bathing, brushing, and drying, get them really good at coat prep, because that's so important. And then you're going to just keep feeding them into the mix as their skill level grows, and pay them very well so they stay. But you can build a wonderful business around expanding your business and then becoming the manager of the business.
Right. And then that way you're not, you can do more of the, I mean, the whole business side of it's a lot too, right? So if you ran a busy salon, you would have enough to do running that salon that you would have a full-time job of running the salon, not actually grooming, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think with all the taxes and overseeing staff
Overseeing
and just
staff,
grooming a little bit,
keeping the tools, inventory, customer relations. It's endless. Keeping the show running. You're the one then keeping the show running. The groomers are never going to have dull blades on their table, because you're going to be taking care of all that, checking everything, always knowing that we've got 4 or 5, 7 blades still in the back, and 5 blades and guard combs because she stepped on one. Here's a new one. It's all ready to keep operations moving. And you get to, by taking yourself away from the grooming table and into a management position, you can manage all that and make sure it's always there, it's always ready, and everybody's always able to continue to do their job.
Right. So that might be a little bit easier on your body, and kind of a neat way to move forward if you started young and now you're 40 and you just don't know if you can physically, like, what am I going to do next? Like, how can I do this,
I think you got to know what you're going to do next. So let's talk about something other than, let's talk about completely getting out of dog grooming. And that's a possibility you may be entertaining. I want to tell you guys, there is so many good courses online you can take for business or anything you want to learn. So start taking those courses far before the time you want to discontinue your dog grooming career. Start building that portfolio. I've got these 3 classes in, I only need these 2, and then I'm going to have an associate's degree as in marketing or in something. If I was to get out of everything, I am fascinated with marketing, because I'm having to do a lot of that with my tools and stuff that I'm coming out with, and I find marketing fascinating.
Well, even how you design your YouTube channel, like you designed all the podcast stuff. So if you guys, if you're here watching,
don't tell them that. If they don't like it, they'll be like, "Oh, Amy did terrible."
No, it's so good. If they don't like it, then that's bananas.
Oh, bananas. But web development. You can get a web development degree in 2 years, taking a couple classes per semester online, and I have done that. I did take web development classes while I was a groomer. So you can.
You were reading your notes. You missed my banana. I just popped up on the screen.
Banana.
Or her giggling for no reason.
Oh, you've always got the props.
That's for my next video.
What else you got back there, Carl?
Carl's here.
That's hysterical.
Carl.
Oh, there's Carl. Michelle got the props.
Perks her ears back, like, leave me alone.
Oh, I love Carl.
Excuse me. No, not interested.
I love how cats are so independent and sure of everything. They're like
just cats doing cat things.
Yeah,
unbelievable. You can also be a little entrepreneur, because I think a lot of us are, and so I see. If
you're running a business, you are an entrepreneur.
Yes,
so feather in your
so
cap.
Much of that. Yep, in this industry. And so if you're really into photography, you can move towards that. If you want to do content creation, you can move towards that. You want to do marketing. So there's so many little, like we tend to be artsy,
Yeah. Creative
critical
people.
thinkers type people. And so you can, start your own business, even if it's not dog grooming. There's all kinds of different things you can do. And so just be an entrepreneur and just go out there and crush it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what would be, this is some priceless advice, guys. So everybody has ChatGPT free version available to them. I do use the paid version. ChatGPT is amazing. I've learned so much over the last 2 years just from ChatGPT. I feel like I just graduated university, honest to
Yeah, you
God.
taught me, like I've never used it until I started hanging out with you.
Wow, I learned so much, but it's all about the prompt. So here's the thing. I want you to go to the free version of ChatGPT and use it and type in, you have to be very descriptive about you. These are my strengths. I am a 20-year dog groomer. I love my career, but it's starting to become very hard on me and I need to plan an exit career. I'd like to start focusing on another career, possibly starting classes that I can take in the evening online at home after grooming. Here are my strengths. Here are my interests, what interests me. And here is my educational portfolio. I'm a high school graduate. I have an associate's degree, whatever that is. I have a master's degree in nursing. ChatGPT knows what classes you took if you have a master's degree in nursing. So it automatically knows what you know. You
Like what
just
your
told it
strengths are.
what your
Yeah.
strengths are. It knows all that. It is that intelligent. And then say, what do you think is the best with my portfolio, my strengths and my abilities and my education would be a good path for me to consider? Give me 10 options. ChatGPT was going to say, you better believe it. Here you go. Do you
Isn't
want to
that
talk?
crazy?
Yeah, you want to talk in depth about any one of those? So I'm telling you guys, don't sit there and beat your head against the wall and think, I don't know what to do. You have options to find those paths. Use those options.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of really amazing tools out there. I mean, I was just talking about this yesterday with the girls because my youngest is about to graduate high school. And I had no idea what I wanted to do when I graduated. And my mom insisted I go to college. So I went to community college and I like failed psychology. I mean, I didn't want to be there. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah,
I had no
yeah,
drive.
yeah.
And then I was working at a nursing home with Alzheimer's patients. I really thought I wanted to be a nurse. And which I still, I sometimes I wish I would have done that because nursing had so many different
All different
avenues.
levels that you can
You could
use
just
a
go
nursing
anywhere.
degree.
Yeah,
Abs-
where
I could,
hygiene was
I could
just,
see you as a nurse.
oh,
I could,
100%.
yeah.
Like I always said that I could have been a nurse. I would
Hmm.
have liked being a hairdresser too. That would have been
Hmm.
cool. But that will put me back on my feet. So I would never do that as a second career,
True.
or a third career.
So you got to think about that when you're thinking about your exit plan.
Yes.
Am I going to be on my feet all the time? Am I cool
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah. But
And that's not a bad
but
thing, but can you do it?
no, but it took me like life experience to get out there and I actually got a job as a dental assistant at like my cousin's dental office that she was working at. Now here I've been going to get my teeth cleaned for my whole life and never once did I think like
Thought
that's a
about
good
it.
job. But it took that me working there to be like, oh, I want to do what that girl does. Like that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you just got to get out there and have a little bit of life experience too if you're young and kind of figure things out. But yeah, I mean, don't feel like if anything, we're advocates for not feeling like you have to stay in the same career
Yeah.
forever
We
or
are
that
advocates of that.
yes, or you can't make moves or even like lateral moves.
Hmm.
But you don't feel like just because you went to college for something that you have to stay in that or because you've invested 20 years that this is what I have to do for the rest of my life because you do not.
Yeah. If you're starting to go to work, for the last few years and feeling like, it's Groundhog's Day, same
Yes.
thing over and over. I don't like it. I don't feel good about myself. Start thinking about the changes. What changes can I, what could I do? We're never stuck, guys. If
No.
all of a sudden we didn't have internet and I couldn't be a content creator and I couldn't groom dogs anymore for another reason, I have other skills and some of those skills I've obtained because of grooming dogs and being a content creator. So which skills would help me to do other things?
We're gonna be farmers.
I could be a farmer.
Perimenopausal farmers. Yep.
I
And
could do
we'll farm someplace cold. So when we have hot flashes, we'll be fine.
it. Get to drive a big green tractor.
Yep. I think
I
it's
never
a
thought
good
about it. I
plan.
would love it.
Nope.
I
You can
can
put
see
like
me now.
a rake on the back of Gus and he'll just
Yeah,
putz around. And I
you
think
know, he would be glad to help.
so. Now we have another backup plan. See how easy that was, guys? And you
That
didn't
was
even need Chat GPT.
right.
Right.
Right. That was fantastic. Good advice. What else you got on this topic?
I mean,
Anything?
that's how, and I see some dog groomers that are done too. And that's how it was for me going to the dentist office. Those last years, I just dreaded going. And it was like, even when I was done with the week on Thursday, I was already dreading Monday. It's like
Monday.
Friday and I'm
And you
just
didn't even get your weekend yet.
no, I was too busy dreading it. We would go on vacation and I would just be like already dreading going back to work. And
Yeah.
that was one of the first things I said. And I still say it sometimes when we go on vacation. I'll be like, I am so excited to go back to work on Monday. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't, all of a sudden, I really could just start enjoying myself. And so, what a difference that made in life. And one of my turning points, what made me really realize I needed to do something different was one of the girls that I worked with who I knew really well. I'd worked with her for like years. And she said, wow, you're really not a morning person. And I was like, oh, and I just remember thinking, I am a morning person. Like, oh my gosh. Like I
But
just
you're
can't.
not at work because you're
I'm
not
coming in here
happy.
miserable. Like I'm literally
Oh.
coming in here miserable, being like, I have a
Mm-hmm.
headache. I just don't want to be here. Like, oh, like I
Mm-hmm.
can't believe I have so many patients today. Like, oh my, you know what I mean? And it was like that wasn't me. Of course, I would put my face on and be like, good morning, but
Yeah.
that
Or your
wasn't me.
coworkers. Like,
And I
I
was
don't
like,
want to
oh,
drag them down.
she thinks I don't like mornings. I
Yeah.
love mornings. Like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I was just like, wow, this sucks. Like, I gotta just do something different. And I also am
Mhm.
kind of like a gypsy and I like to change things up and I like to move.
Yeah.
I like that. And so,
I've done that too my whole life. I've worked since I was 15.
yeah,
But I have, you're all excited and go, go, go. And then if it starts to become mundane and boring, you're like, right away, I start talking to myself and say, well, okay, now where do you want to go? This ain't working for you. Because
yeah,
what you just said, you're not showing up. I'm not showing up as the best person on a daily basis in
yeah.
life. I need to show up as the best version of me. So
And it
what,
wasn't my environment. My environment was amazing. The
yeah,
office was close. I loved everybody I worked with. I had a great boss. Like, you know what I mean? My environment was good. Why am I
yeah,
feeling this way? So it was me. It wasn't them,
yeah.
you know? And I
I know
acknowledged it.
exactly what you mean.
Mhm.
I was like that in my career in printing. I had a almost 12 years in printing, and it was too much of repetition.
Yeah.
And I started to feel like I was wasting my creativity, even though I was in a field where creativity went into every aspect of the outcome, which was a printed book. But when you work for a large printing company, you're only doing this part until you can get one of the other jobs, and then you move to another department and it's like, oh, this is great, I love my new job. And then you find out, well, now I'm doing this 8,000 times a day again, same thing. Oh, I got another promotion, this is great, I need it out of there, I was getting so bored. Got another promotion, same thing, you're doing this little piece of the puzzle. You're converting JPEGs all day. I've had enough of JPEGs or
Right.
whatever. Yeah,
Right.
it gets old. So, some people love it, but some people say I need more. So there are so many exit plans available to you guys. You guys got to start thinking about them, and you got to start mapping out what would best suit you and see what you got to do to go get that, to achieve it while you're still grooming.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
think that's good advice.
I think that's good advice. I mean, again, and some jobs can just be more physical and you have to think about that. I remember when I was in hygiene school and they said, if you like to roller skate, don't ski, don't roller skate, don't ice skate, because if you broke your wrist,
You're done.
and it like scared the daylights out of me where I like literally never did any of those things because I was like so worried that I was going to break my wrist and I wouldn't be able
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to work.
And
You're
so,
a
and the
dog
same for
groomer.
grooming too. Like it's so physical. Like you have to be able to stand all day. You have to be able to bend over. And if you're working on big dogs, and that was that was me again. I said, you know what? I'll let the young folks,
Do the
wrangle
bigger
the
dogs
dogs.
that's starting to wear me out. Yeah.
Yeah, the
And
ones I
some
have left are really easy. They hop in my tub and they don't, lean on the
they
table. They
get
don't do
right
that.
on the table and
Yeah.
they're just easy to work with. I love working with big dogs,
Oh, me too. Oh, yes.
but they
Right.
are a lengthy groom and it is a lot. It's, just all the brushing while you're drying, an hour of that, and it's versus 10 minutes on a small dog. Now I'm
Yeah.
doing it for an hour on a big dog. So it wears you out,
Yeah.
you know.
So we love them, but and even some of them were really good. They were good, well-behaved ones.
They typically are.
Yeah, I know. So it's hard, but we just have to do what's best for us and what's best for, the animals and your customers too. So if you feel like you're
Yeah.
grooming 8 to 10 dogs a day and you're exhausted and you're kind of flying through them, well, maybe,
It's
there's some
time
other,
to let the big dogs go.
yeah,
Yeah.
or
Or
there's some
just
other
not
options.
add any more onto your schedule and
Yeah.
continue to serve the ones you're working with.
Or move towards that, maybe opening a salon. Maybe this isn't how I want to do anymore. Maybe I do want to open a salon and have some staff in there to come help me out. And that's an amazing thing too. I think if you build a wonderful team, there's so much
Oh,
camaraderie. And that I do miss from like where I worked before at the dentist office. Like we had a
yeah.
great team and I got along good with everybody. And that's a wonderful thing too. So if you can establish that in your business and get a great staff and a great team, then
Yeah.
that's special too.
Very. That's family. That's your second family,
Mhm.
because you guys are in the trenches together. You're holding each other up when the
Yep.
other one's down. Your family. And yeah, I think it would be awesome. I've always had dreams of that, like creating a busy salon. I went a different direction. I really did like the educational route, and I didn't know early in the game how I could achieve that. Like I would train people and all my assistants I would train and
Right.
they would get it right away and they would produce good work right away and they would always tell me it's the way you teach me and explain it that I can understand this and I can do this. And so I always knew it was a strength of mine, but then I thought it would be great to build a big salon. But what scared me about that most was personally me was having to be responsible for so many people and so many
Yes.
animals. Some people are very strong. I'm a strong person, but that scared me. I knew I would take everything home with me mentally. And I don't think it would have been the right fit for me, but there are people out there that are strong enough to fill those shoes for sure.
It wouldn't be a right fit for me because I am very much I'll just do it, or like it's hard for me to like delegate other people to do things. I'll just go do it. Like, you know what I mean? And
Because you don't
so,
want to tell them what to do.
or they're going to do it wrong.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
like that. I'm like, if I do it, I know it's right. But that's not being a team player.
I
And
have cooked Thanksgiving dinner for 25 years because I know it's going to be delicious. Okay. Like I'm not letting you wing it. All right.
yeah,
I'll do it. I got it down to a science. And so that's for me, like and I know I can be what you can call it what you want. It's controlling, but whatever,
yeah. That's funny. I'm like
like
that too.
leader,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah,
and
like
so,
I know it'll be done the right way, so I'm going to do it.
yeah,
But
like I'll just,
so there are many options for us out there, guys.
yeah.
Yeah, give it a conversation with ChatGPT and you'll be surprised at some of the options that it presents to you, things you never thought about that are
Yeah.
attainable, completely attainable,
Well, there's a
you
whole
know?
world out there. I mean, there's so many. I mean, and I have this conversation with my kids all the time. I'm like, just you want to switch your major? I don't care. Switch your major. You know what I mean? Like, that's okay. It's fine. You don't. Me, my youngest doesn't really know right now what she wants to do, and I'm really encouraging her to just work when she
Take a gap
graduates.
year at least.
Yeah, do an
Yeah.
internship. We're looking at some internships, things like that. And I said, just go and grow. You're going to learn so much traveling and going on an internship out of state. You're going to learn more than you are about yourself.
Yeah, if you just start right into university when you're not sure what your strengths are.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to know a little bit more about what your strengths and your passions are so you can really go hit it at university if that's what you need to do. But finding that out, people don't often know that out of high school.
Yeah.
Or, you know, as an adult, many people pick up a degree in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I'm thinking right now, I'm 53 years old, and I told my husband the other
Oh,
day,
he's going to kill you if you tell him you want to go to college.
I said I want to be a patent attorney.
You should.
I, I said to him, I said, this is fascinating to me. I said, this guy, my patent attorney, is like a god to me. How does he have all that knowledge? And I'm like, I want to learn that. But anyway, he's like, I said, would you wait 8 years for me? He said, absolutely not. If you leave me for 8 years, he goes, I'm not sure I'd be here when you get back. He said, I don't know how much time I got left. I wouldn't do it, but it's fascinating. You never know when you're going to, go all in on something and
Yeah.
do
Well,
it.
you got to look down every avenue. I guess if anything, we want to talk about this because we want you guys to just get your wheels spinning and think, right? Like when I was in hygiene school, I was going to go to dental school and be a dentist. And I was positive about it. I talked to the dentist that ran the program. I told him this is what I think I want to do. He said 100%, I think you can do this, right? And so I looked into it, but then I really started thinking, and the whole plan was I was going to do hygiene school, and then my husband was going to finish college, and
Yeah.
we had our son. And I thought, okay, where are we going to be if I finish hygiene school and then I go, that's 6 years it's going to take me to finish dental school. I'm not going to be able to have another baby in the meantime. He's going to be not able to go to college in the meantime because he's working and I'm in dental school. Like,
Yeah.
what does our life look like?
Right.
And I thought, that's not fair. And what do we get? What would we still like have a lot in common? Now, I made him bartend and I'm a dentist.
He's working nights, you're working days, you're always
Yeah.
missing each other. You'll have to look at the sacrifices of
Yes.
what you're trying to do to better your life and your career. Is it worth the sacrifices? And maybe I wanted to have more kids, but there's no time slot in there if this is my
Yeah.
plan for me to have those kids. Are those kids, is it important for me to have two more kids? Yes. Well, then
Yes.
I'm not doing that. What's plan B?
And you're not growing with your partner that way too. Like I'm
Yeah.
going and getting all this education and he's bartending. Like he's
Yeah.
way smarter than me. And so it was so like he really is like him. I mean, he is very intelligent. And so he's like this big burly guy with all these tattoos, but he's just so
He's a
smart.
smarty pants.
He has smarty pants. Yeah, he's so smart. And so it was so important for him to go to college because he just excelled so much easier than I did,
Yeah. But you made the right decisions
Mhm.
together. And that's what we're trying to encourage people to do here. Make the right decisions for your family and for you, but make sure that somewhere in those decisions that you're happy because so you can show up every day as the best version for yourself as a mother, a husband, and as a career person.
Yeah. And that
So,
was part of what I just said recently when I cut back my hours this year. So I've cut back tremendously this year. I went from a year ago, I worked 5 to 6 days a week, 10 to 12-hour days, and groomed, 6-ish dogs on average a day, right? Sometimes it'd be 5 if it was like big ones. Sometimes it'd be 9 if, I had a lot of little ones and
yeah,
not full
yeah.
cuts. And then I just said, I'm not like, what made me really cut back was the year, not this past Christmas, the Christmas before that one. I don't know, one of them. I didn't even decorate the tree. Like I put the
You
tree
didn't
up.
have time.
I didn't have time to
Oh,
decorate my
that's
stinking
sad.
tree. And
Hmm.
I'm like, man, like I can't believe like I let myself get that busy.
And it's so important for you and your family. It's a tradition. And you're like, and I didn't have time to do it because I was too booked up at work.
Yeah.
I
And I'm
was
like, I'm
like,
not
I was
serving
making
my
everybody
family.
else happy and not myself and my
Yes.
family.
So that's why this last year I really focused on cutting back, and now I'm cutting back even more. So you're not serving yourself, you're not serving your family,
Yeah.
and so you just have to find whatever direction works for you and follow your heart. But if there's something you're really passionate about, whether it's a dog, I hope to do dog animal things. Like I would love to like do voiceovers for Animal Planet. I mean,
Oh,
there's so many cool things that
well,
I
you never know unless you reach out to these companies. Did you
Yeah.
know that you have the availability to reach out to those companies,
Emailing them today.
put together a little portfolio, a digital portfolio, and say, do
Yeah.
you have something in mind that might fit with me? You'd be surprised. That's how a lot of shows are created on Netflix and on other
Yeah.
platforms, is by people reaching out and saying, here I am, this is who I am, and this is, I'm reaching out to you because you like to create episode type shows or whatever. But oh God, the
Yeah.
possibilities are endless.
So it's endless. I mean, you can
Yeah.
just I'm not going to have enough time in my life to do all the things I want to do. And I hope everybody else feels that way too. So if grooming's your passion and you want to do this forever because you love animals like we do, and you just want to be around them. I mean, every time you pet a dog, I think, you release endorphins. Like it just makes you happy, right? So all
Yeah.
day long, we're just loving on animals. And yeah, sometimes they're turds and sometimes they leave turds, but for the most part, they make you happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that, that's our bottom line here, guys. Don't chase your tail and don't wait too long. Start planning what an exit plan would look like for you. What are your strengths? What are avenues that you should consider pursuing, and get started with that, because you're probably going to need it. There's a good chance you will need an exit plan from grooming at some point. You may not think so, but there probably is a good chance. And you don't want to be without an income. So get
Yes.
started planning that exit plan.
You got to
You
pay the
could
bills.
Yeah, you can always groom a couple dogs a week or whatever because you do love it. Keep
Yeah.
on a few family members or a few clients because you love it, and say, yeah, I could never permanently take myself out of grooming dogs.
I don't think I could either. Like I really, and it's so satisfying.
Yeah.
Uh, like when you're done, because
Oh,
we are artistic
it's
and
therapy
creative.
when you're working.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so you
it's
don't have to completely give it up. Never. But
no.
you need to know what's going to pay your bills. Is that going to
Yeah.
be humping it? Grooming
Humping it.
dogs, humping it, grooming dogs? Or is that going to be grooming some dogs and doing something else that's a little less taxing on your body but pays well?
One of my friends just said the other day, humping it, and it made me burst out laughing.
I started a
It's someone
trend.
from Rochester, obviously. It's not
Oh, East
down in
Coast,
Texas.
East Coast,
It's
yeah.
but I've never said that, but they were like, yeah, humping away. And I'm like,
I
just
was
humping
humping
away at
it.
the day, they said. I was like, okay.
Michelle, she always gets so like, whenever I say that, she's, yeah, that's just the weirdest thing. I love to hear you say it. It's the weirdest thing ever. I'm like, oh, humping it means I was really working hard here.
I'm like giggling like a 15-year-old boy.
Yeah. But guys,
He said hump.
yeah.
I run around with a
It's
Christmas
in
stuffy pretending to
kindergarten.
hump, you know.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
you said poopy.
I
Oh
know.
God,
Jesus.
okay.
Ridiculous.
So leave us some comments, guys, because we would like to make a few episodes every month in our podcast. We would like to be responding to comments and talking in depth on, your topics that you may be struggling with or that you feel need to be talked about in the grooming world. We want to do that. So please leave comments. We'll be addressing them in a couple episodes a month, at least one a month. And we're thinking we'll pop this comment up on screen, and so that, people can see how brilliant you were to come up with that topic that's leading the conversations. That
Genius.
genius you.
And then our next episode is going to be, was it why we love dogs and why they make our heart happy? Something like that.
Yeah. And that's as pet groomers and then as pet owners. So we'll be speaking from those two perspectives.
Yes.
How
And how they changed our lives.
Yeah, oh, dog grooming changed my life completely. We can talk about all these things, and I can't wait.
It's going to be so good.
Thanks for hanging out here, Michelle. I love hanging out with you and all of
I
our
know. I
viewers.
just love you so much. This is so much fun.
It's great. These
Yeah.
conversations are wonderful. We'll be back in a week, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. We'll see you guys then.
We'll see you there.
Love ya. That wraps up today's episode of Dog Grooming Unleashed. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We are truly grateful to have you as part of our Unleashed community. Don't forget, we drop new episodes every Monday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So grab your coffee or your clippers and hang out with us again, my friend, next week. If today's conversation made you laugh, taught you something new, or just made you feel seen as a groomer or a pet enthusiast. Please take a second to like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. And we'd love to hear from you. Drop your thoughts, questions, or even your funniest grooming moments in the comments. We might just feature your story or question in the next episode. And we can't wait to keep learning, laughing, and growing right alongside of you. Stay kind, stay curious, and keep grooming from your heart.